It's big, it's black, and it's bad to the bone. Prepare to be upstaged. The versatile GM A-body platform allowed Buick to build a wide variety of cars that shared the same basic backbone and DNA, ranging from meek six-cylinder four-doors and post-coupes all the way up through fully loaded luxury station wagons and convertibles. And this car is the recipient of some of the best Buick had to offer in '71, featuring the highest levels of power, style, and comfort, all wrapped up in one sinister triple black convertible. Flashback to 1971, and you're in the market for a new ride. You want something that goes fast, but is also comfortable, and you're not really up to all the bright colors and stripes of a lot of muscle cars. Well, that's where the '71 Buick GS Convertible comes in. The GS name is derived from the Buick Grand Sport. Note, there's no D for grand, it's just Grand, suggesting a connection to the European Gran Turismo or Grand Touring cars, which boasted both luxury and performance. The name was shortened to just GS for 1967 and was still delivering on that luxury and performance promise when our feature car rolled off the assembly line in 1971. From a performance standpoint, a GS buyer was in for a treat, especially if the 455 cubic inch V8 was chosen with the Stage 1 upgrade. A lesser GS 350 was available, but the 455 Stage 1 was a special engine. Physically, it was the largest engine GM ever stuffed in a midsize car, but its thin wall casting design made it far lighter than any of the other big V8s of the day. Pontiac and Oldsmobile both had their own 455s, but they were 100% different from the Buick 455 and no parts interchange. Although the engine peaked in 1970, the detuned 1971 version still whipped up 345 horsepower at 5,000 RPM and 460 foot-pounds at 3,000 from the reduced 8.5 to 1 compression ratio. This is one of just 72 built with a Turbo 400 automatic in a Stage 1 convertible. The hood scoops on a Buick GS are functional, and it's not really so much of a scoop as it is kind of a nostril. These are placed in the middle of the hood, and they're flush with the hood, so it's different from something that reaches up and grabs fresh air coming in at the front, or the Chevrolet cowl induction scoop, which pulls air from the base of the windshield. So people complained that maybe this isn't very effective because it's back in this low pressure zone halfway back on the hood, but they are connected. There's some foam seals here and a dual snorkel air cleaner which sucks air into the engine. On this engine you'll also see the chrome valve covers and air cleaner lid signifying the Stage 1 option, which gave you a rejetted carburetor, slightly different cam, bigger valves, a few more performance goodies than a regular 455. But because it's a Buick, it also has power options, power brakes, cruise control, power steering, air conditioning, comfortable ride, all kinds of fun stuff. The convertible cars all had a reinforced frame for added stiffness, consisting of longitudinal sections of steel added to the C-shaped frame rails, which effectively boxed up the design. The GS F41 suspension package added boxed lower rear control arms to match, along with beefier rear springs, a rear sway bar, sport shocks, and rear frame supports to keep the 10-bolt limited slip rear axle in place. This car has a 342-to-1 rear gear, which indicates that it also has air conditioning, as Buick engineers didn't want a high rear gear ratio to cause the engine to overspin the AC compressor under the hood. Non-AC cars could have a 364 gear or even special order higher numerical versions. Up front, the GS stops with power-assisted disc brakes and stays flat in the turns with an oversized sway bar, springs, and sport-tuned shocks. These cars rode on attractive 15x7-inch chrome and black steel road wheels that were shod with Goodyear Polyglass raised white letter tires. And they rode well. They handled the corners with ease and confidence, at least as confidently as you wanted to, considering you were sitting on a full-width power bench seat in this car. The list of comfort items is long on this one, with a tilt column and sports steering wheel, a dashboard loaded with gauges including the in-dash tachometer, power steering, power windows, power convertible top, air conditioning, AM/FM radio, cruise control, dual sport side mirrors, and more. Most people think that the buckets and console and floor shift look cooler, but there's something unique about being able to win drag races on a living room couch. The 71 GS received a few minor appearance changes from the 1970 model, with a revised front bumper and grille pattern and matching hood scoop grille inserts. The curvy shape of the car is accentuated by the solid color paint, and red accents in the GS and Stage 1 badges kind of break up the black, along with the red rocker trim stripe. And these cars were not necessarily the fastest in the quarter mile, but they weren't slow either. The car definitely has an attitude, but not in a loud race car way. It's more like a car that knows it's bad to the bone, but is disciplined enough to remain composed as not to call too much attention to the driver. This Buick GS looks just as good from the rear, which was a common sight for other cars on the street. We especially like the N25 exhaust tips poking through the bumper. And you're welcome to come poke around on our website because we have more high-performance Buick videos there. We did a feature on a 69 GS 400 Stage 1 convertible and a bright yellow 70 GSX. Thanks for watching this episode of Muscle Car of the Week, and we'll see you next time from the Brothers Collection.